I'm really into dates. Let me tell you guys, I'm really into them. I've been doing a lot of research of ancient sources of human food, and dates are one of those. You know, people that are in the Middle East where it's hot and dry, they're planting food forests there that contain a lot of mulberry, fruiting female mulberry. They contain a lot of fig, pomegranate, or granadas. They also include dates. And so I try to tell people in Phoenix area, those are the 4 foods you should favor as well, because our climates are very similar between those in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Oman, things like that, and the Phoenix area. At Longevity Gardens. We've got the biggest date palm, the China Ranch Gold, in the ground. We put a really nice sandy mix with some compost for food, some azomite rock dust minerals, some mycorrhiza with beneficial fungus. You guys can get the mycorrhiza and the rock dust from jakemace.com. We also put sand to make it loomy, and native soil, and a little bit of compost and mulch. So I believe this guy has a perfect soil mix, and we tried to stick to the formula that Brian, who runs the China Date Ranch, goes by. So go check out China Date Ranch for dates, date goods, and date palms. I got 4 more of these to plant right now. But this guy looks pretty good. And Brian was saying to me, Jake, I'd recommend watering them every day through the first summer, through the hot season when they're new. And that way you'll push off a lot of new growth for that first hot season. And I'm gonna try to do that, try to keep it moist, but not rot it. That's my goal. I don't wanna rot the date palm, but I do want to give him lots of water so he puts off a flush of new growth. So the ones I got from the China Date Ranch, you guys saw me plant on YouTube last year, are over here. The ones that I planted this year are over in here. So we got about a 2-year jump between them. I'm really excited. It goes China Ranch Gold, China Ranch Black, China Ranch Gold. We're gonna put the second China Ranch Black over there. Thumbs up, guys, subscribe. Thanks for watching my video. Let's get to the next date palm, and I'll show you guys at the end the finished product of all 5 date palms. So here's some of the important amendments we're putting in these date palms. One is fresh, organic, locally made compost that's alive and biodynamic. We got the mycorrhiza, 5 different kinds of beneficial fungus with an organic fertilizer. And this is the ones that we sell on jakemace.com. And then we have the rock dust minerals, the azomite powder. Looks like this. So when we eat these dates in the future, they're gonna be full of beneficial fungus, rock dust powder with 70 different minerals and trace elements in it, and living nutrition through the art of worms, worm castings, and compost. All right, this next date pup is the big boy, the fat boy, called a dairy, D-A-Y-R-I. It's a classic Iraqi date, kind of a drier date, but still very delicious. And the hole is dug, and you can see I got a bunch of loose clay that I use my pickaxe to break away in the bottom of the hole. So the clay is loose, which is gonna allow the root system of this date pup to kind of settle in. Then I got the beneficial fungus mycorrhiza, the one that I have at my website, jakemace.com. I'm gonna sprinkle that in the bottom of the hole and boost the fungal infrastructure in the soil. Then I got the azomite here. I'm gonna infuse the bottom of the hole with the rock dust. Then I've got the locally made organic biodynamic compost. I'm gonna throw just about that much in the bottom, just like that. Nothing too crazy. Then I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna mix it all up. So it's a combination of the mycorrhiza, beneficial fungus, a little bit of the compost, and the rock dust powder, and the native soil. And now look how it looks. Look at the coloring as I mix it up. So we got some nutrition in there with the compost, but now we need to have well draining. We need to add some sand. So here's some sand we're gonna add to make it kind of a loomy, sandy, well draining soil. And we've already added the sand to our pre-made mixture here in the wheelbarrow. So now when I water this guy, the water will drain out. It'll be nutrition, microbes, rock dust minerals to remineralize the dates I'll be eating later. I'm really hoping this combination will make this date the healthiest in the entire Southwest United States. Let me walk you guys over and show you how big the base of this dairy is, because this dairy lives by this saying that's all about that base. Look at this guy. He's got pups coming off him off the wazoo, and the China Date Ranch owner Brian's told me that this one is one of the best pup producers. And look at him, he's loaded already with pups, even though he's a pup herself. So we're gonna lift this girl into the hole right now. This is gonna be tough, like the ultimate gardening deadlift. All right, you guys, we're on the last date palm, the last hole, and this one needed the most amending. And I kind of ran out of compost and healthy worm castings to amend my native Arizona soil. So I gotta improvise and use some things I've had around for a while. So I'm gonna add some of the mycorrhiza, the beneficial fungus still in the bottom of the hole, like I usually do. This is the jakemace.com mycorrhiza. And then I have a wheelbarrow full of native soil that I added some sand to. I also added some biodynamic active organic compost and some of the azomite rock dust minerals. But over here, it's just plain native soil. So a while ago, I'd gotten a box of amazing stuff from the Boogie Brew guys, from Josh over at boogiebrew.net. And I love Boogie Brew. Not only is Boogie Brew fun to say, but it's a great place to get compost teas and the Joraform compost tumbler I got from Boogie Brew. They also have a lot of soil amendments to help to boost your garden and your fruit trees. So I'm gonna try to add this Boogie Brew stuff that I actually put aside and forgot about. I'm gonna add it now to supercharge this date palm. So check out boogiebrew.net. Those guys are really amazing. They work a lot with John Kohler at Growing Your Greens, and I really trust those guys. So first off here, I have the Boogie Boost. And this stuff has got kelp powder, soybean hydrosylate, nutritional yeast, kelp meal, soybean meal, humates, evaporated cane juice. It's really kind of for compost tea applications. It's got alfalfa meal, rock phosphate. I'm gonna add a little bit to my soil. So just a little bit. Even though I forgot about it, it still looks pretty good. Let's add a little bit in there. Now I'm gonna add some of the Boogie Frass. Next I'm gonna add some of the Boogie Bricks, or Boogie Brie. The other stuff's kind of made for compost tea and for mixing with water applications, and I don't think you need to add this stuff. I just had it laying around, so I'm gonna add it in there, and I've wanted to use it for a long time. Next I have the Boogie Base. This is worm castings, volcanic ash, veganic wood chip, and biochar base. So I'm gonna add all of this. And I'm gonna add the other half to the bottom of my hole. That's gonna jumpstart some health, nutrition, and microbial content. And finally, got a little bag of the Worm Gold Plus with the high chitinase content from boogiebrew.net. Here we go, going in. Going in there, going in there. All right, a little bit of guerrilla gardening here. Thanks, Boogie Brew. Glad I saved it. We're ready to plant this date. Let's do it. Final step, my young gardening apprentice. Come on in, get closer to me. We got the string here. I'm gonna cut a piece off. All of my friends who are Middle Easterners and Mexicans, when they garden, they use burlap a lot to protect newly planted trees. I'm gonna try to be more like them, okay? So we got a piece of burlap here, and we're gonna take this burlap and use it to shade protect this part of the tree and this part of the tree, especially this green core. See how these leaves on the outside have kind of died out? That's okay. And we've using a string to connect them all together so that these outer dead parts protect the green inner living part. I'm gonna go a step further and use the burlap. So here we go. We're gonna wrap the burlap around, maybe even a couple times. And not too crazy tight, but I want it in position where a little bit of the burlap protects the actual trunk of the tree, and a little bit of the burlap protects the new leaves. So to me, that looks like the perfect location. And then I have my string to tie it around there. And then as the new part grows, it'll grow through the burlap into the sun, into the heavens, and it will photosynthesize, and it will use that energy to produce delicious ancient human sources of food called dates. One down below. So right now I want to end this video by showing you guys a last little compilation of the 4 date palm trees we planted today. Here's number 1, the China Ranch Gold. The king. This is the big boy, now protected with burlap. Let's go see number 2. This is number 2, the Dairy, D-A-Y-R-I. And this one is the biggest, most bulbous one with a lot of puffs. And if you ever tasted one of these dates, it's a little more dry, but still delicious. And a lot of people from Iraq favor this type of date. Next to him, his twin sister, is the honey date. Very delicious date, hence the name, honey date. This guy's in a little bit of a more shaded microclimate, but look, the sun is right now, it's about 12 noon. It's at the highest point of the sky, and here's where it sets. It works this way in the sky, and so about 1 o'clock on, he's gonna have full sun, and from morning until 9 o'clock, he'll have full sun, but from about 9 o'clock till about 1 o'clock, he'll be in the diffused light by this nice mesquite tree. So we'll see how that treats him. So I did not put burlap on him yet because he has help from the mesquite tree. Let's go see number 4. And of course, you guys just saw me plant this one and burlap protect him. She's the China Ranch Black. So we have 2 of the China Ranch Black, 2 of the China Ranch Gold. They're looking fantastic, and he's being watered in. The drainage is great. The soil, I think, is very high quality, and they'll be thriving. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today for this brief little glimpse of my life planting these amazing date palms. I'm really into dates. Let me tell you guys, I'm really into them. I've been doing a lot of research of ancient sources of human food, and dates are one of those. You know, people that are in the Middle East where it's hot and dry, they're planting food forests there that contain a lot of mulberry, fruiting female mulberry. They contain a lot of fig, pomegranate, or granadas. They also include dates. And so I try to tell people in Phoenix area, those are the 4 foods you should favor as well, because our climates are very similar between those in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Oman, things like that, and the Phoenix area. There are many similarities. So plant your pomegranates, plant your figs, plant your dates, plant your guavas, and you'll be successful here in the Phoenix area. I want to also thank my friends Brandon and Alyssa with Greenie's Garden, and of course Seamus O'Leary. I couldn't have brought these date palms here without my friends, so go check out Greenie's Garden and Seamus O'Leary on YouTube. The links are down below. I couldn't have done it without them. They were instrumental in having fun with me, helping me bring the dates here, and Seamus got 2 date palms himself, so we're gonna grow them together, and hopefully we have similar success stories when we finally eat the dates off the trees. Check me out on Instagram at Jake Mace Tai Chi and jakemace.com, and please join my Urban Gardening in Arizona Facebook group. Go vegan, grow your food at home, including dates. And I'll see you guys back here next time. It's so tall. Got it? Yeah. Oh shit, no, it's coming. Keep the moisture in with a wet towel. Nice job. Nice job. Awesome. Sweet. All right, it's like 2 in the morning and we got the dates transferred from the big truck over there to the little truck, Gandalf the White over here.
Yeah.
We've got 4 humongous date palms that are wrapped in a wet cloth and wet burlap so the roots stay moist. We're going to bring them to Longevity Gardens, put them right in the pond so the roots can soak up that water until tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. when I plant them all before 9:30 in the morning so they get in the ground before it's hot. Big. I want to say a special thanks to Seamus O'Leary. Special thanks to Brandon and Alyssa.
What's up?
Special thanks to the Kung Fu Man.
Awesome day.